Hello everyone, my name is Cerebellum and this is Academy of the Ancients. Today we're going to be doing a replay review for the manliest of heroes, the deepest of voices, Earthshaker. And more specifically it's going to be Kenny's Earthshaker. Kenny was nice enough to send in this replay, so yeah, thank you for that. Earthshaker, pretty good initiator, really good nuker. Probably a better initiator than a nuker, though he's a really good nuker also, if you can get the right situation. We're going to see a few examples of that. This is actually my third take on this replay. The first one turned out very long, and I wanted to close out this this little GUI here, and accidentally just closed the replay. And rather than having to load the replay again, I decided just do it over. So, third take, third time's the charm. We're going to see if we can't make something good happen here. So, what should you do with Earthshaker? Well, basically, your early game revolves about this skill, the fissure. The others, kind of details. If you land good fissures, you're doing well. It's basically just putting up a big old wall with a stun. It has a monstrous range of 1400. So, normally it's a good idea to wait with your first skill point, just in case you don't know what you want to get yet. But in the case of Earthshaker, I'm gonna go ahead and say get the fissure. It's what you want, 9, always. Like this, I have so hard a time thinking of any situation where you wouldn't want fissure. So get fissure level 1, and then I think probably the best thing to do is go for 1 level in enchant totem level 2, and then a level in aftershock level 3, and then back to fissure for 2 levels. So at level 5 you have 3 levels in fissure, 1 level in enchant totem, and 1 level in aftershock. It's a bit debatable. You could also just go 1 level in fissure, then enchant totem, and then back in fissure. That's what he's gonna do here. And it's not a huge difference, but you know, it's whether or not you think it's more important to get that small stun on your enchant totem, or if it's a slightly better fissure is better. So yeah, starting items. This is pretty good, like a bit of regen, a ton of clarities, and a few ironwood branches. You do need these clarities because this fissure costs 125 mana at level 1. It's only going to get more expensive, and he doesn't have a very fantastic mana pool. He is a strength hero. So yeah, he's normally played as a support, though you can play him as an offlaner. I should say I have seen him as an offlaner, solo offlaner, but that's a really gimmicky tactic. I would not recommend it. I think he's pretty much only good as a lane support. Yeah, we're just gonna dive in, see what's up. Really, what you want to do item-wise with this guy, and yeah, I am gonna be using the hotkeys. You guys have been very very vocal about that, so I will be doing that. So what you really want to do item-wise is probably build into Arcanes and then into Blink Dagger for the initiation. Yeah, here we see a single pull. That is, the camp here hasn't been stacked. He's not going to do a pull through over here. And what this is going to mean is that the creeps that aren't killed are going to go up here and join up with this wave. So in this case, he only pulled most of the way. There was one creep that passed, and yeah, so only one creep lived, but still you're gonna get a larger wave, and it's actually gonna help push a bit because you get them all together, and you get the enemy's creeps will advance to your tower and take a lot of damage, so it'll push quite significantly if you don't stack. So that's why you stack normally. Now of course it's been blocked off by the sword, and that's a bit sad. So the bad thing about running a melee support like this is these pulls are pretty much the one thing you can do if you don't have a shot at getting a kill in lane. And I think versus a Bane and a Kunkka here, that might be a bit difficult with just a sniper and an Earthshaker. So with the camp blocked here, there's the things the Earthshaker can do here are actually very limited. With a ranged support, you can go in and you can just harass and deny and stuff much easier. If he goes in here, that he's just letting the Bane get free harassment here. And besides, the sniper has so good range that it's a little bit here. This fissure, really bad. You do not want to do kind of harassy fissures. These are so expensive, you do not want to do that. So here we're gonna see a smoke, and a quick note about smokes. So smoke, it gives you a sort of super invis. You aren't detected by sentries if the sentry is right there when you smoke, of course. Or well, if they see you smoke, they're gonna know that you smoked, but you're only gonna get revealed if you go close enough to an enemy hero. So yeah, pretty much the goal with smokes is you're supposed to be out of vision when you use them, because then there's no chance, or there's a lower chance of them figuring out what's going on and knowing that you're coming for them. And over here is actually a pretty bad choice for it, because this ward right here is also something the opponents could choose to do. It's normally going to be right over here, so when you're down here it's a bit safer. But you see they have a ward here, so even up here isn't completely safe. Normally I would say in this area over here, up here in this high ground is a lot less likely to be warded up. So that's a little bit better. Though it's gonna work out here, or at least the smoke is gonna work out here. So he's gonna go down here for a gank here on this Pugna. This is very good. The wave here, the equilibrium is over here, so the Pugna will have to go forward to get last hits. As soon as he's down from this high ground, there's a lot less. He has a lot less time to spot out the Earthshaker, and you can use the Fissure to block off here, as he's gonna do in just a moment. So that's good movement from him. We're gonna see just how it turns out here. Yeah. There's the Fissure block. This is a good Fissure, though the timing of it might be debatable because the Invoker couldn't follow up on it. So while it's a little bit annoying for the Pugna, there's not really any follow-up, and they ended up just wasting a lot of time. The Enchantress didn't get in on the smoke, unfortunately. Maybe that could have been coordinated better. And she did just grab an Invis rune here under this ward, so the Pugna should have been aware of something, but he was so out of position that it didn't look like he was at all thinking of anything along those lines. So, in short, that was good movement from the Earthshaker. But perhaps, perhaps a little bit of communication again. As I am apt to say, we don't have the chat messages, we don't have the pings, so in the replay, so I can't really tell if it's a communication issue or not. So he's just looking for a kill here, and that's that's what he can do. That's what you should do as an Earthshaker, surely. Go, and a good Fissure again. So Bane's Nightmare gonna come in here. The sniper says he's gonna grab the Nightmare off the Earthshaker here. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do in this case. Enchantress gonna come in with a Dark Troll Summon and lay down that Ensnare, I think it's called. Yeah, Ensnare. And they're gonna grab a first blood on the Kunken. That's really good. And the off lane, really probably the easiest lane to gank, certainly when it's a dual off lane like this. They have, in this case, prevented you from pulling up the lane, but mostly if you can get the equilibrium up here to about, and they, feel like they have to go up and try to get some farm, that's a good opportunity for a gank. So yeah, good job. Pretty much perfectly played. Now he's gonna grab up a few items, and I'm not a huge fan of this, not an unconditional fan, as I'm apt to say. This knowledge is really something that's better on int heroes that like to improve their right click. So if you are like a Skywrath, you want a little bit better right click. I don't know if Skywraths do that actually, so but if you're an int hero, maybe like a Quap or say a Windrunner that want a little bit better right click, Wind Ranger she's called now, then this is a little bit better. Now I think he's only delaying his mana boots. He's gonna go down here and try to save this Alchemist, but it's too little too late. Yeah, not a lot to do there. So I think this is just not... It is giving you more intelligence, but if it's extra mana pool you're looking for, then you should just save up for your mana boots. This is a 470 item. He's gonna end up buying a magic wand as well in a little bit, and that's just... To me, that's the only thing he's really doing there. Magic wand is very situational. If there were more spammy heroes who like to lose a lot of abilities on the other team, then I think it would be better. But here, I think skip those two items and just get arcane boots. And you really need it. Like the spells cost a lot of mana, as I've been talking a lot about already. So Earthshaker roaming a lot here in the early game, and I think this is really good. I think this is a really good way to play him. It's a lot easier to make kills happen when you roam around, since your enemies constantly have to reevaluate whether or not they are in danger. So he's just not making anything happen here at bottom, so he's just gonna look around over here and throw down a good ward over there. Now this is a bad Fissure. He's locking out the Alchemist. The Alchemist, this death from the Alchemist is sort of 50-50 the Earthshaker's fault and the Alchemist's fault. Earthshaker is gonna react nicely here, and he's gonna be able to grab a nice kill there. So as soon as the Alchemist saw that the Fissure was locking him out, he should just have turned around, even if he has triggered his stun there. But he apparently thought he could get the stun off. Instead, instead he just ends up stunning himself. That's something we're gonna see a lot from this this Alchemist. Need to be better about speeding the replay up here. So he's having some decent success with finding some of these kills. When you roam around like this, it's very contingent. Your success is very contingent about actually making something happen, of course, since you're not getting any farm. So it can be pretty, if you're not getting any kills, it can be pretty bad. pretty bad indeed. It's a pretty hard playstyle to do in pubs, honestly. So certainly in low-level pubs, because people are so bad about map awareness and about communication. Another decent Fissure here, another Nightmare, and he's just gonna be able to get away. Pretty low though, and a decent attempt at a Sunstrike there. Yeah, skill build. I like this at level 5. Just to do like this, absolutely. But yeah, you know, this thing, the magic wand, is pretty much 500, I think. Yeah, 500 straight up. And if he hadn't bought this and the Null Talisman, he would pretty much have his mana boots now. And I think that would have been huge. He would be able to be a lot more generous with his Fissures. Like if you see now, he has like it's 300 mana straight up for his main combo, like the Fissure and the Echo Slam, and he just can't afford both of them at once. So here another attempt on the Alchemist here. Good TP in by the Earthshaker. I might have just TP'd in directly on top of the fight, being able to be there a little faster and just scare them off a little bit. Alchemist just gonna carve a neat little path around here. And the good ulti from the AA there, just a nice clutch little ulti. It's so often you see AA players forgetting that they can just throw it point blank and it does a lot of damage. So he kinda saved them from a turnaround there. But otherwise, good movement. Like if another core is being threatened, you know, it's a good thing, especially if you're around one of your towers, to just TP right in on top of it. Maybe not go dive so much, but that's the one thing. He might have been a little bit too aggressive. But that's honestly not a really easy thing to call. So he's just gonna go up here and get some free farm. This is not something you should be too afraid to do as a support. Like, if there's no one farming the lane, you should be farming it probably. Unless there's a fight you can partake in somewhere. Tries to call off the Kunkka there, but he's way too far ahead. So. You know, getting some farm on Earthshaker, not the worst thing at all. Not the worst thing at all. He does need to get up to that Blink Dagger, at least. It isn't completely insane to go Blink Dagger without mana boots now. They used to cost mana. It used to be 70 mana to activate the Blink Dagger, but nowadays it's free. So when it cost mana, the Earthshaker was a lot weaker, and you know, he super needed those mana boots. He's just gonna stick on brown boots this game, which I'm not a fan of, but you know, certainly not if you're gonna spend money on these items. But it's not completely insane. And he is, you know, he does have a difficulty farming. Like, my personal view is that probably pro players would prefer Sand King, even though his ulti is harder to land, because he can jungle so efficiently compared to like an Earthshaker. So the enemies are pressuring this area down here, and Earthshaker's just up here farming. This is normally a formation you see with the hard carry over here for defending, and then the hard carry just farming. But instead, here's an Earthshaker just kind of getting a mediocre amount of farm. Mediocre, maybe a little bit generous here. He's not hitting particularly many there. Maybe he's doing okay. But anyway, like, they're losing a fight down here. Like, their cores are dying, they're losing towers. And now he comes in. He comes in right when everyone has just been hit by the AA ult, and they can't fight anymore. So that was the absolute worst point you could TP in here. It would have been better to stay up here. It would have been better to go in 30 seconds earlier. Going forward here, after. So the tower's already died. There's no tower to defend here anymore. It's still 2 versus 4. You and the Enchantress versus 4. So why go forward? Why not? Like, what are you giving away by going back? You're not giving anything away. They're not gonna push high ground at 16 minutes. If they are, you can just punish them for it at the high ground. You can't punish them for pushing the high ground here. So you know. Pull back in that case. If the tower's already dead, there's nothing to defend anymore. Unless you think you can get an easy pick off. And that was not the case there. I don't know why he would think it should be the case. So, it was not. So far, I think he hasn't used his magic wand. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it's only accumulated 6 charges. And that's kind of a verification that when you've been fighting this much and you've only got 6 charges, probably this has not been a particularly good game to get magic stick. Or magic wand. Yeah, so just grabbing some more CS. This is pretty good. Does need to get that Blink Dagger. And, in my opinion, also the Arcane Boots. Alchemist, such a big fan of hitting himself with those stuns. Oh well, maybe not. But anyway, he does hit himself with those stuns a lot. So he's gonna come in here, another bad Fissure. Want to lock the AA over here. You don't wanna... That's a good, you know, preventative Fissure. If you do create a wall between you and the opponents, that's kind of a defensive Fissure. There's a poke. Completely unnecessary. And if I remember correctly, yeah, he's gonna wait over here, try to be cute, try to be a little tricky, and wait over here. And now, if you're trying to be cute over here, you don't have an escape route. While if you are over here and you try to be cute, you do have it. Though the AA has been clever and thrown down an ice vortex over here and given vision. So if someone was waiting in there, they would be able to see them in this little area. So let's see how this pans out. Of course, I already know, since I've already watched this to death. He's gonna get spotted out, he's gonna do a one-man Echo Slam, and that's gonna drag his team into a bad engagement. So, 3 down for the Kunkka so far. Go to Sniper, he's gonna manage... Yeah. So that turned out okay, like you got 2 of their supports and a Kunkka for 2 of your cores. That is not too bad. Or I did the... yeah, okay, the Earthshaker died as well. I don't know if the Enchantress died. And he is going to try to be cute again. He TP'd in and then just kind of walked in here. And when you're trying to hide like this, you need to make sure that you are actually hidden and not visible to the enemy's creeps. And so he's gonna die again right after. So, not much to say there. I don't know what he was trying to do here. The Echo Slam over here was pretty bad, even though it is an instant stun. It's tempting to just panic, slam it. You know, it is one of these big cooldown ultis. You don't wanna just throw it out willy-nilly, and you really, really, really need to hit several people with it. Pretty much, if you can use it in any scenario where you can hit like 3+ enemy heroes, or if you can get a pick off on the enemy carry, then it's good. And of course you do need follow-up. That's also, you know, it's tough being an initiator. You need to really have good judgment to know when you can and can't. So these 2 devs are of course gonna slow down his Blink Dagger quite a lot, but the enemy team having a poke mass able to put so much pressure on these towers that there's not much to do about it. He's just gonna look for more farm over here. He's being, for support, he's being kinda greedy. He hasn't bought almost no wards or anything. I think. Yeah, so that's mainly been the Enchantress buying the support items, and I think that is that's okay. I would have liked to see more smokes in the early game, though he was able to make kills happen, and that is really the crux of it. Like, if you can make kills happen without smokes, then smokes are kind of unnecessary. But then again, you don't know if you can make kills happen before you have made kills happen. So yeah, they're continuing to give up towers here. Now his team is defending up here again, exactly the same situation we saw with these towers down here. So team fight up here. He's content to just farming down here. He should have been TPing up there far earlier. And he should have just not. I don't know why his team went so far forward and decided to fight up here, but they did. So that's not going to work out to the advantage. Earthshaker is going to make it up here. He's going to get his blink up, and then he's going to make it up here in time to see that his team is dead and he can't defend. So, you know, it's important getting these items, but it's not all important. Like, you need to be there for some defenses. If you either, you know, what really should happen is you should communicate with your team. If your team says go, then, you know, you go. If you don't think it's the right call, then tell them you're not coming and they cannot fight and know you're not coming. But you need to communicate a little bit. You need to have one plan going, not 2 plans, and not several more than that, certainly. So now they're kind of locked in their base. They are down, or let's see, they're down 5 towers compared to the opponents. That is a lot. So Earthshaker just gonna stand around a little bit here.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And they're in full-on defensive mode. They've ceded almost all control of the map. The enemies are gonna take advantage of this by taking Roshan. Roshan, very important to take if you want to push high ground, especially early on. So, first Chaos Stack. It's gonna land on a good amount of heroes. As you saw, there was a good amount of heroes. So in that sense, it was decent. But in another sense, there was no follow-up. So they're gonna end up not having the greatest impact. Like, they're still not gonna do much, but lose 2 over. It's gonna buy his team some time, but it did give up 2 kills. So if he had, you know, it's also gonna reveal the Blink Dagger. Actually, it's not super good, not super good at all. But yeah,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I should speed up now. We don't have much to say.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So the bright side is that the opponent's team is really not super good at pushing high ground. They're gonna try for the Roshan again. Fissure here is just kind of cheeky. Alchemist gonna get caught a little bit here. Maybe they're gonna see him. No, looks like he's gonna make it out. They have kind of successfully harassed him out of doing Roshan now. Yeah. Invoker's gonna get caught here. They're not gonna get a trade. And you know, fighting out here, when you don't have a tower to defend, you don't have anything, then why not just secede the ground and fight up here? Like, you have no advantage out here, you have advantage in the high ground. So, unless you think you can take a good fight, then there's no reason just kinda being dodgy about it there. He's gonna go for 4-staff now, and I really don't like this. I don't see what the 4-staff really gives him, and he's not gonna use it overly much, so... Yeah, I think that's not super good. He still only has a 500 mana pool, so that's, you know, it's still not great.
My sprites are with us.
Though they are kind of locked in the base, so he can just trot up there for a bit of regen. But you know, we're gonna have a lot of standoff here, facing each other down. Cool. Yep. And okay, this is Invoker doing a bad call. He went out here in this and decided to blink in and go for some aggression here, while Earthshaker was way up here going for some shopping. So of course that's not gonna work out. He is gonna get the Aegis, so there's some sort of trade at least, though in my opinion that's a pretty bad one, and Sniper's also gonna die to this. So now they've pretty much lost the tower due to, again, pretty inconsistent defense, just not being on the same page at the same time. And you know, going back for, I believe that was the Ring of Regen or a TP or whatever, not really important. What was important, however, was that I had completely forgotten that happened, so we are just gonna go back a few seconds. So here we are, okay. Our Earthshaker, he's gonna see that he has 4 guys dead, but he's gonna look at this and say that is perfect for an Echo Slam, and he's gonna jump in, do an Echo Slam, and we're gonna see what he does wrong here, because he makes a bit of a mistake that's gonna cost him 2 kills and possibly his life. So, see? Oh, he's gonna wait for the wave actually. Yeah, that's a wave. Oh, it's gonna bug out. Damn it. So let's just...
Dire's structures are fortified.
Boom! That's the wave. Absolutely fantastic Chaos Dunk. And the thing is, he follows this up with an Enchant Totem. The Chaos Dunk was perfect. This was, you know, he was very, very close to taking a 1v5 fight here. But he follows it up with an Enchant Totem instead of his Fissure. They have the same cast point. I'm fairly certain they have the same cast point, and the Fissure just does so much more damage. It does the 125 from Aftershock to the Pugna here around, and then also does the 275. He could have lined it up to hit the AA and the Pugna, killed those two, and then he would only have the Bane to worry about. And if he had that and not been Nightmare, you know, oh well, he could have been Nightmare, that doesn't really matter because he would have had his Fissure off. Instead, he's just gonna get killed here. He's still good, like still managed to kill 2 really important characters and, you know, defend for a good while here. Like, certainly the Rex would have gone down by now if it... oh well, not by now, but the Rex would certainly have gone down before these guys were out. So, yeah. That kind of a good example of a pretty perfect Fissure there. That was beautiful, honestly. Not the Fissure, sorry, the Echo Slam. The Echo Slam there was brilliant. Yeah, just shows the power of that Blink Dagger on Earthshaker. But yeah, it's so close to it. It's so Yeah, he's gonna do this a lot, just leading with the Echo Slam, then following up with the Enchant Totem. But really, it should be the Fissure. It should be the Fissure every time after the Echo Slam. Yeah. Pugna really likes to set this ward very far forward. It's not super good. It's very easy to pick off up here, and it has super range, so I don't know that he has a good face for it. So, Echo Slams up again. He's still pretty low on mana, despite, you know, getting the combined 16 intelligence from these two items. It's just not, not a super lot.
Shrapnel!
Instead of the 4-star, you know,
tower is
would have
under attack.
probably liked to see just him start on an Aghanim's. Like he's consistently getting opportunities for these good Echo Slams, and that's a good indication that Aghanims could be really huge.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Again, pretty good. That's a pretty good Echo Slam. It's not as epic as the 5-man one before, but it gets the job done. Now A is gonna do a good move here. Just gonna line him up and get a really good trade there for his trouble. This AA is honestly playing really well with regard to these point-blank ice blasts. That's I like to commend him for that. That's really good. Something we don't see enough with AAs, I think. So, Earthshaker's dead yet again. He has died quite a lot, though. That's also something that just happens when you're initiating. They are gonna get a tower now, finally.
Radiant's middle
But,
tower
you know,
has fallen.
that's kind of just life when you're an initiator. So he's gonna go down to the secret shop here. This is a gambling move. Like, they are right up here. He cannot fight them solo. His team is elsewhere, and he's just actually gonna hang out over here for a bit. They're pretty much
Dire's
giving up
middle
racks now.
barracks are
They
under
might have
attack.
underestimated how fast
Dire's
his
structures
opponents
are
are gonna be here,
fortified.
but their opponents were gonna be here and pressured again. But you know, it's just standing here isn't gonna help his team at all. The only thing he's doing here is he's giving them an opportunity to kill him off really easily. So if anyone checks up here at all, he's just caught and dead. Like, I don't think he can get out of that. There we go. He's gonna come in from behind, land a 3-man Echo Slam. Again, though, the backup was just tiny, just in range there. The Invoker being on point with a
Dire's bottom tower
tornado,
is
so
under attack.
it was a bit of a gambit, but paid off. They managed to trade everyone for the Alchemist, or well, almost the entire team for the Alchemist, which you have to say is pretty good. Alchemist, again, I think that's the 5th time we've seen he hits himself with a stun. So somehow this Alchemist, you know, not having the best of luck there. So just a bit of farming now. Next item is gonna be the Aghanims, and I agree with this completely. I think that's really good. Also gives you a lot more mana pool, and you know, the Aghanims effect is that each hero emanates another wave of Echo Slam. So it's really good. Gives you not quite double damage, but you know, close enough to be worthwhile. Yeah, he's actually pretty close now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So yeah, just a bit of
Radiant's
moving around
top
here.
tower
This is a
under
very long
attack.
replay, so I really want to get to it. He's gonna take
Radiant's
just about
top
an
tower
age
Dire's middle
to
barracks
assemble
has
his
fallen.
axe, I think.
Dire's bottom
No,
tower
those were
has
actually
been denied.
invokers stuff. Yeah. The enemies are gonna pick off the tower down here. They weren't quite ready, weren't quite gathered enough for a defense. There's the axe. Some reason at level 16 he doesn't have a 4-point in enchant totem, so he skilled up attributes one level too early at some point, but that's not super important. It's a mistake, but it's not super important. He's gonna wait right here, and that's a little bit close for comfort. By my reckoning, should probably just be right over here or hiding in the tree line over here. That's what I would do, certainly. If you're waiting for someone to come up here. He, so there our our Earthshaker blinked into the tree line, and you know, that's not good, so he'd have to back out. But there's enough items online for his team now. There's an Aghanims on the Enchantress, that's pain. There is Mjolnir on the Sniper and the Shadow Blade, and then Roka has Malevolence and the Aghanims, so they're gonna be able to get stuff done. Go. Decent blink forward, just a disable, pretty standard. They're gonna be able to get a not super hard kill on the Pokemon here. Slightly too far away for the... yeah, for the aftershock to hit. It is only 300 radius, so you know, you have to be really close. Yeah, okay, I think wind speed up again. This game is gonna go on for a while, so really wanna get through it fast. First take I did on this turned in over 1 hour and 20 minutes, so I really wanted to be a bit shorter than that. So, and besides, there's nothing too interesting happening now. They're gonna get the Roche. One quick note. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back for that actually. Yeah. When you're doing Roche and you're this kind of initiator type that doesn't really have any abilities that can really help take Roche, and they don't need the help, just hang out like up here or in here and wait for an opportunity to counter initiate if you think they're gonna come in. Because if they had wards here, they could just spot this out and go for an easy 5v2 fight. And then if they do that and you can come in, land down your an Echo Slam and stuff like that, then it's a lot better than, you know, just helping them very marginally with an honestly very lackluster right click. So with regard to items, I think the last thing he's gonna buy is a Boots of Travel, which is pretty good. Here he's gonna be, he has a propensity, he likes to be cute about it and hide these kind of places. But here, you know, you don't want to take a fight here. Not when your team isn't around. So you can be cute like that when your team is on. When your team isn't around, you know, you're just putting yourself at risk for no payoff. Like, you can't solo people as this guy. Some guys like to run the Enchant Totem build where they kind of want to imbue Enchant Totem with a lot of attack damage. But that's a very gimmicky build that I wouldn't recommend it. Sniper, gonna get caught out. It's a pretty big deal. Really, really not good. They're gonna get it. Are they gonna get the trade? Oh, he had Axe. Okay, that's really nice actually.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Echo Slam on absolutely no one there. Yeah, so it's very important that your Echo Slam actually hits someone. He is gonna buy back though. He's up here. He's not gonna make it down into the fight again for a pick off there at the end.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
So yeah, these fights, like here, why fight here? Like, they have the high ground, they have the advantage. You didn't catch anyone out in particular. Yeah, it's, you know, I don't, you know, you don't really want to do that. Just gonna put things to perspective for a little while. Oh right, no, he's gonna go for a Ghost Scepter here, and that's okay. That's not it's not super complicated. He wants to stay alive against Sven, and Kunk has a large amount of right-click damage. That's okay. I don't know if I think it's the best thing to do this game, but it's not completely horrible. So there's no real hope for him to survive very much in fights. He does have a lot of HP, of course, but yeah, okay, maybe he can. I don't know. It's if Sven just lets loose on him, I guess it's pretty good getting the Ghost Scepter. Good Echo Slam again. Followed it up with a Fissure this time, looks like. Yeah, so the Echo Slam was good, but it just didn't quite have the follow-up there. Didn't quite have enough follow-up. Pursuing Sven here is a bit hopeful. Really surprised to live through that. Okay, so from their perspective, getting a little annoying here. Nice reaction there from AA, dodging that with the old set. So you can break projectiles, or break the tether, or break projectiles pathing with it. So if you are,
Thanks to you.
if you're in the tornado from Earls, then you you won't get hit by projectiles while you're up there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This is a good fissure just to grab the attention of the creeps. If you can kill off all the creeps, they will get backdoor protection,
Dire's
which will help a lot.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, but they don't really grab the attention of the creeps, and I think that honestly costs them the towers here. They could have just grabbed the creeps and dragged them to the fountain, but for some reason they didn't. And I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. The one thing his team has going for him is that they kind of have the carry advantage, and Alchemist and Sniper are really good, and Enchantress is actually pretty good carry as well. Really good damage dealer. Invoker's also really good. And yeah, they have AA and Bane really can't, and Pugna crucially falls off completely here at the 50-minute mark. He's starting to be really useless. Pugna, all his damage is magical, and he's just not doing very much. So his team is kind of split up again. They want to get some farm, and yeah, things looking pretty dire for us right now. Just gonna go for some here. Looks like they can get maybe a good fight here. They burst down the Enchantress, and that's gonna kill off a lot of the sustained damage. The impedes from Enchantress deals so much damage, especially when she has Axe up. So that's a bit of a shame. Okay.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That was a good Echo Slam. Maybe would have liked to see more follow-up from someone there. Alchemist gonna get caught up by the Fiend Script, but not quite enough damage to follow up that to kill him off. And yeah, they're gonna sort of turn this, but now, yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah. Pugna doing a lot of work with that Aghanim's ulti abyss.
Dire's Ancient is under attack.
Yeah, the Ancients sort of looking sketchy now. They really need to just be pulling these back. They're just gonna farm them all, which is super strange to me. The Ancient does regen health, so if they can defend it, it will get a little bit better.
Dire's Ancient is under attack. Dire's top tower. Radiant structures are fortified.
Yep. So just a little bit more of the same there, just going around, you know, defensive movement, not a lot to say about it. Just kind of trying to counter push a little bit without overstretching and without, you know, without just getting backdoored or anything. Sniper trying to solo Roche is really brave. It's a big gamble, to be honest. He's not gonna be able to do it. That's just dumb. Earthshaker again, being kind of cute. These things generally didn't work very well for him. Just standing here, he's just, you know, he's just out of position now. Just straight out of position. Like, obviously he wants to be up here. And they are gonna have to go up here. So, I don't know what he's really gaining by trying to ambush them.
Dire's Ancient is under attack.
So unfortunately now with so many racks down, they kind of have to split their attention. So, missed that one. Yeah, we're gonna see if this one was good. Looks like it should be pretty good. Yeah, that was a lot of creeps there. So, and good follow-up. You see the EMP, Shockwave, Meatball. They're gonna blitz down the Kunkka. Sven's really the main concern, but you know, that's still pretty decent. Now the BKB's one off him. Peach is just gonna wreck him, and yeah, that's annoying. Hope that goes away. Yeah. That's just
Tripled!
yeah. There we go.
Isn't it?
Stupid replay bugs. So yeah. And now they have been in a bit of a deficit, but now they've outlined a lot. Okay, they're actually really even now. Yeah. So despite the enemy having a lot more of the base still intact, you know, the game in terms of experience and gold is crucially pretty even. And as I mentioned, they just have the bigger carrier potential, in my opinion. Certainly once this alchemist, who's had a pretty bad game, he's a 0-12 so far. As soon as he gets some items, he'll be able to contribute a lot more. So yeah, that's you know, even if someone is having the worst game of their life, if they've been playing for an hour, they will have some items. So you know, finish games if you are like a tempo-based, an aggression-based lineup. Oh yeah, they want to fight down here. I think they actually are they just gonna end now.
Radiant's middle tower has
Yeah, they might just be ending the game now. Nope. Nope, they didn't. I was wrong. A little bit of a spoiler. It's gonna look a lot like that when the game ends. But yeah, you know, someone has to defend here. It could just as easily as the Earthshaker be someone else, but I don't think there's a better way to split it up than just everyone is important at this stage, or you know. Yeah, so not a huge mistake being up here defending, because they can't afford to let the creeps hit this tower. Or not tower, the ancient.
Resist a long shot.
Dire's courier has been Dire's ancient.
Go using the Fissure to stun up the. Okay, the Fissure was good. The Echo Slam on nothing wasn't. That was pretty bad. Here we see how good Punka is in the late game. Not Pugna. Yeah. Chance was just owning fools. She's so farmed. Oh well, not so farmed, but she's decently farmed. Not very good farmed for 60-minute game, honestly, but still pretty good. Yeah, so they're just gonna go for a push here mid. Of course, as the game goes on, the respawn times increase, and so deaths mean a lot. Good combo there from the Invoker. I think maybe the MP was a little early there, which, you know, means that it does nothing. If they're still in the air, then it doesn't. That's one thing you can do, is just send an Ice Blast in when they're doing Roshan, and you can prevent them from regenning, and maybe, if they're getting too low, kind of wreck their face.
Roshan has fallen to the
Someone's just gonna. I think the sniper just drops his BKB. No biggie. Doesn't even sell it or anything. He could walk right over here and sell it, but he just doesn't. It's a little funny. It's a little funny. He just wants that Aegis. Yeah, the halberd on the Alchemist is super strange to me. Though I guess it's kind of good if he uses it on the Sven. I kind of doubt he is, but if he used it on the Sven, it would be kind of good. But as a kind of first item on Alchemist, it's really strange. Yeah, also gonna be a little bit of a nuisance. Nuisance. Yeah. Stumbling over me words. So he's gonna be going for a refresher here. That's okay. Like, he has 1500 mana. He can, you know, cast 2 Echo Slams. So yeah, that's the concern you have with that. But once you have Aghanim, you have a ton of mana. The thing gives you 150 and 10, so it's like 280 mana. Yeah, it's exactly 280 mana actually. So yep, just you know, defending base, pretty good.
Heal us.
Of course, Earthshaker is really good against minion-y heroes, because the minions count. The minions emulate Echo Slam,
Dire's ancient
and
is
you know,
under attack.
very important that you fight 5 man versus 5 and not 1 versus 5 here in Enchantress. That's very brave here. The AA trying to split push here.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, Yeah. Cool.
Dire's Ancient is under attack.
Oh, that triggers Lincoln's. Okay.
Dire's Ancient is under attack.
Bow.
Healing power.
Go. Fiend script. And on sniper, he's probably dead now. Yeah. Good echo slam. Good patient. So that fight was pretty much game. Like now they have more than a minute to rush down and kill this, and that is a long time at this point in the game. So that's pretty much gonna be it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to send in replays. The instructions for how to send in replays will be in the description for the video. Mine has been Cerebellum. This has been Academy of the Ancients, and we're just gonna watch the rest of this replay unfold.
Radiant's middle barracks. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire
Yeah,
victory.
so a bit of a comeback and some, I think a pretty good exhibition for what Earthshaker is all about. Early roaming and huge ultimates, and also being very careful with those fissures. We saw some really good fissure usage. We saw some kind of mediocre ones, and we saw some downright bad ones. But yeah, overall pretty well played. I think mainly what I would say is get those arcane boots and use the extra mana to farm with is the biggest thing I'm seeing. And also sometimes you're being more fancy than is beneficial, like all those hiding in the trees and stuff like that isn't really really helping you a lot of the time. So don't stay in the trees. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this time. I'm out.